For those of you watching at home, our virtual event is beginning in 15 minutes. This is a great time for you to test your setup. You can make your donation today by texting the code AGELESS to 44321. That's AGELESS to the number 44321. And make sure to partake in the chat window to the right of the screen, Ageless 44321. And we'll be back with you in about 15 minutes.
We love the smiles and energy that you have all brought to this room. Thank you for being here for the 2023 Ageless Awards. I'm Stephanie Hooper. I'm president of Age Plus, and I have an amazing team that have been working so hard to put this together for you, and we're just thrilled at the attendance, at the smiles, and thank you again for being here. We're going to start with our land acknowledgement. We recognize that Age Plus resides and provides programs and services on the ancestral homelands of the tribes who have rights and interests in Oregon and our communities. Given our commitment to the principles embodied in equity, inclusion, we acknowledge our resolve to actively recognize and to make visible by our programs and policies the special role and recognition of tribal and indigenous elders on whose ancestral lands we reside. Thank you. It is my honor to acknowledge our board of directors here today, which provide us so much support and guidance. If you're an Age Plus board member or former board member, would you please raise your hand so we can thank you? And before I turn it over to our amazing MC, Carrie Timchuk, I wanted to share a quote that I've been holding on to at my desk the last few weeks. It is by Grace Lee Boggs, a social activist, Chinese American, who lived to be 100 years old. She said, "You cannot change any society unless you see yourself belonging to it and responsible for changing it." So perhaps social activism is the secret to a long, healthy life. Just look at Catherine Jones Harrison here with us today, one of our 2015 Ageless honorees who just celebrated her 99th birthday. I want to thank Lisa Watson, her niece, for going out to Grand Ronde and bringing her here and taking her home today. It's a special, special gift to all of us. So today's honorees definitely reflect that belonging and that act to change. As I look across this room and to our audience at our watch parties in Madras, let's hear it for Madras. Our watch party in Medford, our watch party in Nissa, and the Dalles, and everyone else viewing at home. But when I look at all of you and I see leaders, I see caregivers, employers, educators, current old and future old, not to mention my dearest Grammy Ella, who's here from Springfield, Oregon, to support me today. But what I see and learn from all of you and from her is that you do take responsibility seriously that comes with belonging here in Oregon and work every day to create good change and maybe even some good trouble. I believe at my core that we're at a crossroad in Oregon, but that Age Plus, together with our partners, that so many are in this room, are watching, are at home, or couldn't make it, that together we can take responsibility and we can act to make the positive change of how we all want our parents, our elders, our families, our children, our communities to live and age well together. Today we are celebrating 5 amazing individuals who have worked tirelessly to change our world for the better. I hope it inspires you as much as they inspire me. Thank you for joining us today, tomorrow, and the next day, because it's not just about today, as we all journey toward our shared future in Oregon. Thank you.
Good afternoon. I'm Kerry Timchuk, the Boyle Family Executive Director of the Oregon Historical Society. My pleasure to be your MC today. This is one of my favorite events every year as we honor Oregonians who are truly changing history. One of my favorite quotes is the late Governor Tom McCall, who once said that heroes are not giant statues framed against a red sky. They are individuals who say, this is my community and it's my responsibility to make it better. So today, as we do every year, we're honoring heroes that prove that there is no age limit to being a hero. And one of my favorite parts about this banquet every year is that every year I'm one step closer to being 75 years of age and being able to win this award. So that should be our goal for all of us here once we get to be 75. A few other quotes to get you going this morning. Susan B. Anthony once said, "The older I get, the greater power I seem to have to help the world. I am like a snowball. The further I am rolled, the more I gain." The great comedian George Burns said, "You can't help getting older, but you don't have to get old." Helen Hayes, the great actress, said, "If you rest, you rust." And that famous philosopher, Andy Rooney, once said, "Age is nothing but experience, and some of us are more experienced than others." So I'm looking at a very experienced audience here today as we talk about our winners. And the great baseball player and philosopher Satchel Paige once said, "Age is mind over matter. If you don't mind, it doesn't matter." So, Margaret Carter, you're right down here at this table. So we're celebrating. For those of you watching again today at the virtual party or online, you can give by texting Ageless, AGELESS, to 44321. That's Ageless to 44321. Or click the donate button under the broadcast. If you do not see a donate button, exit full screen mode. And also make sure you partake in the chat window to the right of the screen. And let's begin tonight by thanking and honoring those who are part of making this possible. I want to acknowledge our Founders Circle, Karen Wilson and Michael DeShane, our Innovation Champion, the Cambia Foundation, Family Custom Concrete, K3 Construction, KOIN 6, On Point Credit Union, USI Northwest, our third age leaders, AARP Oregon, All Care Health, Big Red LLC, Care Oregon, Home First Development, Kaiser Permanente, Manor Management Services, Morel Inc., Oregon ALF Inc., Oregon Healthcare Association, Pacific West Bank, Providence Health and Services Foundation, the Portland State University Foundation, PSU and PSU Institute on Aging, SAGE, Stoll, Touchmark, Springboard Group, and proud supporters and virtual supporters, Heritage Bank, RBC Wealth Management, Bishop Liam Carey, Leading Age Oregon, the Scanner Foundation, Partners in Care, Chinook Place, Central Oregon Council on Aging. A round of applause for all our sponsors. What a great group. So, we are honored to be joined today. When I go a special call out, a lady who happens to be trained in this area in social work and helping seniors, and how fortunate we are to have her in the place she is now. Oregon's First Lady, Amy Wilson, right down here. So last year we had a room full of legislators at this banquet because they weren't in session, but now they're busy in Salem, so doing the important work down there. I also want to call out and recognize some of our past honorees. This is the 10th year of the awards. Past honorees are listed in your screen and in our program, but some joined today. Begin Leroy Patton. Leroy in the room, so right over there, Leroy Patton. The one and only Bernie Foster right down here. So she has been honored by OHS as a history maker. She was named by USA Today as one of the 10 most important women of the 20th century in Oregon. She is the one and only Margaret Carter right here. So. Our former governor, who's done so much for this state in so many areas, Ted Kulingoski, right here. So. Yeah, so. And as Stephanie mentioned, we're honored to be joined today by a woman who Senator Hatfield rightfully declared was the most influential Native American leader in the 20th century in Oregon. And as was said, just last week, she celebrated her 99th birthday. So when else do you get a chance to sing happy birthday on their 99th birthday to an Oregon icon? So we're all going to join with me in singing happy birthday to Catherine Harrison on the count of 3. 1, 2, 3. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Catherine. Happy birthday to you. Yeah, so. And I told Catherine beforehand, I said, Catherine, I want to be at your 100th birthday. And she told me, well, if you eat right and exercise, there's no reason why you shouldn't be there. So we'll all come back next year for Catherine's 100th. So at this time, we're going to pay tribute to this year's honorees of history makers. I'm honored to celebrate today's honorees and support the important work Age Plus is providing by amazing support for older adults and families across Oregon. And that's never been so important. So direct your attention to the video as we're going to hear from this year's honoree. Our first honoree is Edmo.
Living first from being sober, learning from my experiences, sharing my hopes and dreams with younger people. Not only do I tell stories to kids in school, but I tell stories at Native American organizations because I think it's important to pass these traditions down like they were passed down to me. I hope my audience gets that Native Americans have a sense of humor, have a sense of community, that we respect our elders, that we honor traditions, ceremonies. I'm involved with ceremonies also too. Yeah. I like the work I do in the community with Anaya and Nara. I like being on stage, like the chamber music thing. I like that. You reach so many people. I really like being out there and making change, not sitting around complaining. You know, so much people complain, but never do anything to help. Plus, I have a long-term relationship with the Native American community and Portland community. Been here since 1964. Seen a lot of changes. I'm looking forward to writing another play, writing another movie. Yeah. I want to write a documentary about Sly. I worked on it on the retreat I was at. I worked on some of it. They're not just snippets of it, but I'm beginning to work on it because a lot of people don't know about Sly Falls. So just get the word out. I'm working on a book called Stoll Falls. I was there, a childhood memory. I'm only 7,000 words in. I got to write more. So I'd like to write a couple more plays too. I write with the first grade pencil with a big eraser. When I write plays, I drink a lot of coffee. It's my job description. I'm a writer. I find something that you like, something that sparks you, and get to a community that supports you. Mentor if you can, work with others, find other people that are like you, like same values, and build a community around that.
As you saw on that screen, Ed recently was at Oregon Historical Society presenting a wonderful program for us. Join me in congratulating our 2023 honoree, Ed Edmo.
I'm at Edmo. I was raised 95 miles eastern at a place called Solano Falls. When the cold winter wind blew down from eastern Oregon through the Columbia River Gorge, I'd kept many quilts made by loving hands by mom, aunties, and grandma. There'd be the crackle of the fire wood stove. My father would tell me stories. I thought I was getting stories. I realized I'm getting culture handed down from generation to generation. A long time ago, there was no Columbia River. Did you know that? Casamount, there was a great big lake. If you believe science, they talk about the Missoula flood where a glacier melted by Missoula, Montana, forming rivers and lakes in the northwest. But that's science. Want to know what does Indians say? Coyote took a big stick to the top of the mountains and dug and sang a powerful song. Everyone get your stick up, help me say it. Get your stick up, help me say it. Coyote took a big stick to the top of the mountain and dug and sang a powerful, everyone get your stick up, I can see you. Get your stick up. Coyote, big stick to the mountain and dug and sang a powerful song. Coyote took a big stick to the top of the mountains and dug and sang a powerful song. Everyone, Coyote took a big stick to the top of the mountain and dug and sang a powerful song. Coyote took a big stick to the top of the mountains and dug and sang a powerful song. Coyote took a big stick to the top of the mountain and dug and sang a powerful song. And the water broke through, forming what Indians call Inchuano. Means the big river could swallow. The river's a big river, right, from Canada to the coast. Animal people moved onto the riverbanks to be closer to the water. Our coyote was proud of. He made Inchuana. Walk up down Inchuana to see what he'd made. So the animal people didn't have much to eat. Coyote clear to the ocean. He saw many salmon swim in the ocean. Used his power, told the salmon to swim upstream. That's the coyote made Inchuana. That's why the salmon swim upstream. That's the Colville legend. Thank you. Thank you. I have my last words. Dream big. Dream big, for wisdom comes in dreams. Thank you.
Continuing to prove this is truly a statewide organization, a statewide award. Our next honoree is joining us virtually from Medford. If you're from Southern Oregon, chances are that you know Don. And he's been involved in just about every major initiative there for over 30 years. And let's learn more now about awardee Don Bruland.
I am very good at giving the advice. Take a year off and decide what you want to do. I never took a year off. There were just things that were continuations of what I had been doing. And the big one was actually with the coordinated care organizations that provide health care to Medicaid recipients in the state of Oregon. And for me, purposefully is about quite frankly, making this world a little better place for individuals. And that involves not just how you treat people individually, but how you work with the systems that impact people's lives. And in my case, I was lucky because I not only had certain skills in terms of language and communication, but I also had connections. Because working in the same area for 37 years, I knew a lot of people. And so I could help connect people to the right person to get something done. And that was a good feeling. I think one, find your passion and what you get joy from. 2, stay engaged, because being engaged with other people, and quite frankly, other younger people also, will re-energize you. And you do have skill sets and stuff that you've learned, some that you're not even fully aware of, that you can help transfer and support others. You can be a cheerleader for others. You can give them ideas or give them alternative approaches and stuff. And that's very rewarding. The other thing is, because of my age, quite frankly, I think about what is going to be my legacy? What is I'm going to leave? Am I going to leave the world a better place somewhat? And I'm still working on that. There are still things I can do to, at the end of the day, say, yeah, I didn't do all I hoped to do, but I did make a difference. I made a difference in some individuals' lives, but I also made a difference in some of the systems that impact individuals. What I like to tell people was, you can do what you can do. No more can be expected of you, but no less should be expected of you.
Thank you, Don, and congratulations, and thank you to all those down in Medford at the watch party at United Way building in Medford who are there to support Don in Age Plus. And I do want to recognize the fact that in the last year, we lost 4 past recipients. Don's going to have something more? All right, here we go.
I want to really thank Age Plus for presenting me with this beautiful trophy. And I want to emphasize it is a beautiful and substantive trophy. I feel very much honored and somewhat humbled by the fact that I've received it. I also want to state that it's given me a chance to think about how fortunate I am to be able to continue to work with people that I really admire and to in some way maybe add to them their ability to carry out their work through my knowledge and in some cases my connections. And I especially want to thank my wife for allowing me to spend this time working with organizations and stuff, because it is a sacrifice on her part too. So once again, thank all of you, and thanks Age Plus.
Thanks, Don, and those in Medford. And as I mentioned, we lost 4 past recipients this past year. I want to recognize them and honor them. Pat Gus, Terry Pancoast, the amazing Bill Shonley, who we honored here several years ago. And those of you who were here last year will never forget when Walter Cole Darcell received the award. Just an amazing moment, and remembering Darcell too. So round of applause for those we lost this last year. So. And now we're going to move on to honor the dynamic duo of our 2023 honorees, Maria Rojo Steffey and Dan Steffey. Let's learn a little bit more about them.
I've had a lot of careers in my life. I think some of the most notable are the ones where I've served my community, whatever that might be. It might be my Latino community, my Portland community, my Oregon community. You know, as a Multnomah County Commissioner, I was able to serve Multnomah County, certainly, but also people who were in need. And that was a really important part of my career. I also currently work for Engage Northwest, and we offer services, programming services, to affordable housing communities in arts and creativity and lifelong learning, in health and wellness, and just community building, which is the part that's so important to me and that I love doing, is watching an affordable community come together and build a family.
Up until the last 100, 150 years, we've lived in community very closely, and we've gotten away from that to our detriment. And if we can restore that in some way and help people deal with the trauma of living with poverty and domestic violence and all of the things that are the negatives of our society today, then we've accomplished something.
Dan was a creator of Community for All Ages. And now I am working with Engage Northwest, providing services at the first Community for All Ages. And it makes me very proud to know that my husband Dan created this, and I get to follow up by working, building the Community for All Ages.
In my housing work and other community development work, there are literally thousands of people who have benefited from that effort, and I didn't set out to do that. And knowing that it's benefiting people, and maybe, just maybe, it can change the way society operates, what a great thing that could be.
I believe you can't live with purpose unless you're paying attention to what's happening and get involved and you know, do something about it. If it's just going to the vote, then do that. That's purpose to me.
If you are giving back, if you are helping others, you are earning more than you're putting out, and you stay younger and more vital, and that's kind of it.
Maria Rojo Steffey and Dan Steffey, 2023 honorees.
I think we should give it to Maria.
Should we take a photo first? Yeah. Take two. 1, 2, 3, and 1, 2, 3. Thank you. And just look this way when you're making your remarks.
Thank you.
Thank you.
See if I can hold it. Thank you. Thank you to Age Plus, to Karen and Stephanie and Diego, who I haven't seen Diego right now, but thank you all so much. This is very meaningful. From a little brown girl born in a one-horse town to this, I'm so grateful. Thank you. It's been my pleasure to serve this community, my Portland community, my Oregon community, and my Latino community. It's really important. And my friends from Hacienda are here from the Latino community, and I appreciate so much the work that they've done for an organization that actually I founded, which is Hacienda CDC. Chris Christopherson wrote a song, and I'll quote it. I have tremors, by the way. I have essential tremors, and this is what happens, so I just want you all to know. Chris Christopherson's song I will quote, and it is, "Why me, Lord? Why?" Okay, I have to start again because it makes me emotional, sorry. "Why me, Lord? What have I ever done to deserve even one of the pleasures I've known?" That's a really important song to Dan and I, because we do say, "Why us?" And we are ever so grateful. Thank you.
Well, thank you. I do have a complaint before I start. Nobody should have to follow Edmo. I want to talk about three things: appreciation, apology, and advocacy. The appreciation goes to all of those who have helped me across the years, starting in chronological order from my ancestors that gave me the genes that allow me to be here today at 80. So thank you for that, my ancestors. Thank you for all of you who have helped me, who have been a friend, who have been an advisor, have been there when I needed support. And thank you for Age Plus and all the wonderful work you do, and for this tremendous award. The apology goes to my family. I have not been reliably present, and for that, I owe the family an apology. I was too busy chasing my own demons, and I regret that. For advocacy, I want to give you a quote from Matthew Desmond, a Princeton sociologist and the author, and a MacArthur Genius Fellow, and author of Evicted, Poverty and Profit in the American City. "Decent, affordable housing," he said, "should be a basic right for everybody in this country. The reason is simple. Without stable shelter, everything else falls apart." And the point I want to make is we have done remarkable work in the last few years on affordable housing in Oregon. That builds the foundation to launch families and individuals on a trajectory that allows them to steer towards their strengths and improve their lives and the lives of the communities that we all participate in. So the advocacy part is, a bit of preaching to the choir here, but we all need to redouble our efforts to make sure that each of our brothers and sisters in this wonderful state are adequately housed and served in ways that assist them improve their lot. Thank you very much.
There's an old saying that age may wrinkle the skin, but to give up interest wrinkles the soul. And I'm privileged to have lunch with our next honoree every so often, and on Wednesdays, along with Governor Kulongoski and Mr. Solomon and Judge Simon. And I can tell you that he is the youngest person in this room because he has never given up interest in any topic. He is so involved in all the issues going around in Portland and in Oregon. And the frustrating thing is that when you add Governor Kulongoski, Judge Simon, Mr. Solomon, and myself, he has more hair than all of us put together. It is really frustrating to look at his full head of hair at allegedly over 75 years of age. I just don't believe it. So let's learn a little bit more right now about my friend, Bob Stoll.
To me, living with purpose means having a direction, knowing where you're going, what you're doing, not just sitting there and waiting for the future to envelop you. I set up a nonprofit called the Albino Opportunities Corporation. which provided funds for minority, particularly black and women entrepreneurs that they couldn't get money that they couldn't get from banks. And I think those of us that have plenty have an obligation to do for those that don't have so much. You know, for the last nearly 6 years now, I have been spending most of my time doing homeless work. I was a creator of Here Together, which is a coalition of nearly 200 organizations. And we got passed 3 years ago the largest revenue measure in the United States by a factor of 8 times any other matter to deal with homelessness. People that truly inspired me were my parents, who spent their lives in public service, and my wife of nearly 48 years. And all of them were very, very committed to public service and trying to assist others that were not as fortunate. I was very, very lucky in my career. I did very, very well. And you saw the income disparity problem that we have in this country. And there was no way that I could just sit by and not do what I could. My advice, my 2 bits, is they should stay involved. People should stay involved in retirement. I think I've observed a number of friends who have wished they were doing as much as I've been able to do. And I really think that's the, figure out a plan, what you can do, what you like to do, but stay involved. The rewards that I find are I would say the self-satisfaction of being able to help others. I think that really helps one's soul and gives you a feeling of accomplishment and that you're doing something meaningful.
'23 honoree Robert Stoll.
Well, thank you very much. What really inspires me is all the people in our community who want to make it a better place. And I can only say that the work of Here Together, which now has over 250 organizations in the metropolitan area working on homeless, is really overwhelming. I think that Portland obviously has, and the state has, challenges right now, but I am confident actually that with us all working together, we can bring Portland and Oregon back. Thank you.
One of Bob's many favorite causes is Portland State University, and PSU wanted to help honor Bob tonight, this afternoon, and I'm proud to introduce the PSU choir, who is going to be here to give us a song. How about that? So, welcome to Portland State University choir. So.
Good afternoon. My name is Ethan Sperry. I'm the head of the choral program at Portland State, but more importantly, I am the Barry Stoll Professor of Choral Music. As well, this is our members of the Portland State Chamber Choir. You can hear me, right? So we've got members of the Portland State Chamber Choir here to sing and to honor Robert. I heard his video a minute ago where he said, the real trick is to stay involved and to have direction. And it's amazing to me that Robert has stayed in one place because he's always going 6 directions at once. I was trying to think like where that all works. And we are just so grateful for students at Portland State who, I think, as you know, really need all the scholarship help they can to go to school. Like college tuition just keeps outpacing inflation. We're so glad that you're one of the places that you really invest in so that knowledge can serve the city. I do not know if this is your favorite song of ours. I just know that it's your wife's favorite song of ours, which is more important. So this is our rendition of Leonard Cohen's Hallelujah. And just incidentally, I actually woke up in Canada this morning, so it should have special meaning because Leonard Cohen was Canadian. So.
That David played and it pleased the Lord, but you don't really care for music, do ya? It goes like this: the fourth, the fifth, the minor fall, and the major lift, the baffled king composing hallelujah. 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 Hallelujah.
Well, your faith was strong, but you needed proof. You saw her bathing on the roof, her beauty in the moonlight overthrew ya. She tied you to her kitchen chair, she broke your throne and she cut your hair, and from your lips she drew the hallelujah. Hallelujah, hallelujah, hallelujah,
Say I took the name in vain, but I don't even know the name. But if I did, well, really, what's it to ya?
doesn't
I did my best, it wasn't much. I couldn't feel, so I tried to touch. I told the truth, I didn't come to fool ya.
stand before
And it's not a cry that you hear at night. It's not somebody who's seen the light. It's a cold and it's a broken heart.
If that doesn't put you in a good mood, or a giving mood, as the case may be, then nothing will. I know this is not everyone's first rodeo here. This is a fundraiser, folks, and here to get us some more words of inspiration is Dr. Karen Brown Wilson, the founder and CEO of Age Plus. Join me in welcoming Dr. Wilson.
Wow. If you think it's hard to follow Edmo, try following the choir. And I will say that I'm a Viking too, just so you know. Today we have many reasons to celebrate, including having the opportunity to recognize this year's amazing honorees. But I want to take a minute to tell you why Age Plus has so much to celebrate. COVID, in some ways, acted as an accelerant, especially to those without adequate personal resources to sustain themselves. Speaking as the founder and chair of the board, I would first say Age Plus is fortunate to have such a talented, dedicated staff led by Steffey Hooper, whose passion is exceeded only by their skill in executing our mission. And because of this amazing staff, we have been able to expand our Circles of Care program, secure funding to develop accessible, affordable housing in Talent and Madras, strengthen our support for aging issues and local programs across the state. And, this is a big and, undertake a major new initiative, Shared Future Oregon. Each of these is a reason to celebrate. Circles of Care has meant so much to many older individuals who needed help with things like transportation, assistance getting groceries, and picking up prescriptions, even a friendly voice to help them stave off deadly isolation. It's a lifeline for those who don't qualify for existing programs and don't have the resources to secure them for themselves. And it demonstrates, in a very real way, the ongoing contributions that older people contribute to make their communities in their later life. With the crisis that housing represents in our state, we are proud to be able to replace affordable housing stock and Talent lost in the wildfires, and to create a new option in Madras in partnership with the local Catholic Church, demonstrating how partnerships can build stronger communities. Age Plus believes both projects represent a new approach using modified prefabricated strategy. This approach holds significant promise, not only to reduce the square foot cost of housing, the speed with which it can be produced, and the potential to make affordable housing projects for smaller communities financially viable, but a path for increased affordable housing for multiple populations, not just older adults. Throughout the long struggle with COVID and the enormous cost of life for older adults, Age Plus has relentlessly pursued outreach and education to increase access to vaccinations. COVID, along with wildfires and heat waves, helped us understand and renew our focus on critically needed action to respond to the permanent shift in Oregon's age structure. One result of those experiences was a fierce determination to vigorously pursue a path to help navigate the change, not only because of the impact on older adults, but on all Oregonians, including children. This campaign, Shared Future Oregon, is our vehicle to work across generations, across locations, and sectors to begin a process to address the changes needed in government, business, communities, for all ages to thrive in Oregon. We invite you to invest in this effort with us. Thank you.
All right, Stephanie, I think you're going to join me up here. And I was wrong. We have a video. Then Stephanie will come up.
Let's be real. We are all aging. Aging is living. But what do we want aging to be like for ourselves, our families, and communities? We've learned a lot over the past few years. We've seen how difficult it is to respond to urgent needs of older people, how fragile our support systems are. It was a wake-up call.
In less than 8 years, almost 25% of Oregon's population will be over the age of 65. This is a permanent shift, and it's our new reality.
We are unprepared for this momentous change. Yet this need not be a crisis. It is actually a tremendous opportunity. More than ever, Oregon needs older adults engaged as experienced workers, caregivers, and talented volunteers. This requires new planning by employers, communities, and families.
Well, it's going to take an all-hands-on-deck approach across sectors, across generations, to come up with solutions that work for Oregonians in every corner of the state, both urban and rural.
Already, we see urgent needs in housing, healthcare, caregiving, and behavioral health. These challenges are more pronounced for older adults who are isolated, underserved, and living with limited resources, often in rural areas. We have learned that it is not enough for resources to be available. They must also be accessible, equitable, and inclusive for all communities. At Age Plus, we're making room for older adults to contribute to their communities as they are able and willing. Uniting and empowering communities of all ages to embrace the aging process and address the challenges it poses. Helping grandparents raise grandchildren who do not fit into traditional boxes. Developing accessible, affordable housing that incorporates universal design. Convening stakeholders around aging issues that focus on what's strong, not what's wrong. And mobilizing our state to take action through advocacy and multi-sector planning. If the pandemic taught us anything, it is that we are more interdependent on each other than we realized.
We have a responsibility to act so that the lives that were broken, that were lost during the pandemic, that they mean something. This is about our shared future, where every generation thrives together.
After all, life is too valuable to waste at any age.
Join us.
Let's review your instructions here today. For those of you in the room, you're all here. Your table host should have a packet with donation envelopes. You can see them in the middle. You can make sure those are passed out. And those of you in the room also have pledge cards that are aerodynamically designed to be waved in the air enthusiastically. When Stephanie or I call that level, and you would like to give it that level, please raise that card. and we'll call out your number, and then you can fill out your envelope or use text to give, just like those on are watching virtually. So Stephanie, here we go, and I think we're going to start out at a $2,500 level, I believe, and we already have some donors who are in at that level.
We want to thank Mark Stevenson and his wife Mary at the $2,500 level.
That's
one of our board members. Thank you, Mark. Heidi Japasa from USI Insurance, our new insurance provider. Thank you, Heidi. Tom Fink, a treasured friend of Age Plus and advisor. Mary Dick, who couldn't be with us today. She's needing to quarantine. And Brett Baker, another good friend representing the business sector for his contribution to the $2,500 level.
Are there any other donors here in the room who would like to come in at the $2,500 level? Please feel free. They're right there, number 350, Stoll. Thank you. Number 193, Karen Brown Wilson. Number 194, thank you very much. Round of applause for our $2,500 donors. So, additional $2,500 donors. If not, we will move on to the next level, which is the $1,000 level, and we already have some folks in at that level as well, Stephanie.
Let's see who's in the room, and then we'll...
Yes, start with the room. $1,000 level. Who would like to join number 205? Mr. Solomon, thank you very much.
Number 356.
Number 195. Thank you very much, Dave Vernier and Christine. Number 188, Chris Nickerson. Thank you, Chris.
Tony Lineweber at 1,000. Thank you, Tony.
Number 203. Thank you very much. Number 221.
Thank you, Margaret.
Number 128. And some more
we have some more virtual award or gifts with Gary Withers, one of our board emeritus. Ken Thrasher. Is Kristen McCall here? Yay, Kristen.
Number 312.
Thank you. We're good.
Is that all?
Yep.
And for those of you, if you're watching at home again, text Ageless, AGELESS, to 44321 and click Now to make your gift. And now let's move on to the next level, which is the $500 level, Stephanie.
And we have a special match. One of our board members, Tina Castaneris, who can't be here with us today, has challenged the group at the $500 level to match her $10,000 gift. So we need 20 $500 gifts to meet our match.
So let's get to 20 right now. Here we go. This is great.
383, Kristen Connor, thank you. 235, Maria. 230, 174, thank you, Kendra. 289, Paul Lunley, thank you. 291, 240, Dave Carbonneau. 325.
8. No, that's 325, yes.
360.
9.
201.
10.
364. Thank you, Mom.
11.
366.
12.
Thanks, Aunt Susan. 159.
15.
271.
14.
Thank you, Bill Dickey. 307. Lisa Faust at Pacific Continental. 191. Tom Keeler of Coin. 141. Say Autumn Edmo. Thank you. 305. Marcus Mundy.
18.
338.
19. And
212.
20.
368.
21.
369.
22. Well done. We whip past that level, getting 22 gifts at $250, so we get the full $10,000 match. Now we move on to the $250 level. Last chance to have your donation matched. Is somebody matching this as well? I understand. So.
Sure.
Sure. So your mother is matching it at 250. So yeah. So again, if you're watching at home, that's Ageless at 44321. So any donors here at the $250 level, raise. There you go, Stephanie.
202. 362. Thank you, Mike. 274. 272. Thank you, Michelle. 370. 333, thank you, Walt. 348. 381, thank you, Lisa Watson. 200, thank you, Bernie Foster. 244, Kay Turan. 144, Ed Edmo, thank you. 126. 101, thank you, Bondana with AARP.
And I think Jay Bloom is in at 250
Jay
as well.
Bloom is in at 250. So is Harman Colas of Colas Construction, who couldn't join us today.
And our final level is the $100 level. And just to add a little spice to this, anybody giving it the $100 level will also get a complimentary one-year membership to the Oregon Historical Society, which is also $100. So, but if you've bid before, you got to go in again at the $100 level. So not good enough to get $5,000. You got to come in at the $100 level to get the free OHS membership. So raise your paddles for the $100 level and a free membership to the Oregon Historical Society.
My grandma, Ella, 365. 199. 207, thank you, Margaret. 374. 282. 382, Catherine Harrison. 378, Tony One-Line Weber. 353. 383, Kristen Connor again. 239, Mark Stevenson again. Tamara Brown. 384. 241. 230, Maria again. 328. 171, thank you, Becky. 268, thank you, Vicky Nakashima. 388. 225, thank you, Alan. 228, Maynard Norm, and 224. 372, 164, again, Lisa Faust. 307, thank you. Let's give them a round of applause. 257, 321, 318, 105, 115. Thank you, Jennifer. 181, thank you, John Mullen. 154, 113, 127, 305, Marcus again. 147, they really want these memberships.
Absolutely.
344, thank you, Amber. 165, 283, wow. 101 again, Bondana, thank you. ARP is an amazing partner.
A round of applause for all our donors. What a generous round. Oh, one more, 387.
I'm touched. Thank you.
Well, thank you again. What a great contributions here to a wonderful cause. We have one more award to give out this afternoon, and it's the Age Friendly Business Award. And Margaret Neal is going to tell us about our recipient. Margaret.
Thank you so much. The Age Friendly Business Award is provided in partnership with the Age Friendly Portland and Multnomah County Employment and the Economy Committee. The award honors a local business or organization that demonstrates a welcoming environment and provides great service for people of all ages. As you all know, our population's aging. Research has shown that benefits accrue to businesses and organizations that recognize and support multiple generations, including older adults. Older adults have enormous political, economic, social influence as consumers, as volunteers, as workers, as mentors. This year's honoree not only serves older adults, the organization models how being age inclusive from top to bottom, from staffing to office design to its public-facing community communications, is smart business. Meals on Wheels is our awardee. Meals on Wheels people really delivers. We all know Meals on Wheels provides nutritious food, human connections, and social support to thousands of our neighbors, primarily through home-delivered meals. However, there are other programs that we don't know about, including one that provides meals, nutritious meals, to kids 0 to 18 and their caregivers who are low-income families. It's called Meals for Kids. I didn't know about this until I read the nomination. They also have a program, or they also provide meals at sites, community sites. And they opened a restaurant in Vancouver that's open to the public called The Diner. That's age-friendly design throughout. What else is a little bit less known is that behind the scenes, every aspect of the organization models the advantages of age inclusivity. Seniors are involved in every aspect of their organization. 60% of the 3,200 volunteers are age 65 or older. 15% of the staff are over 65. The physical environment of Meals on Wheels and their various sites is age inclusive. Offices that consider lighting, navigation, accessible office design, and age-friendly details, such as chairs with arms. All of these things help the organization be age-friendly. Their communication strategies are anti-ageist in imagery and language, and employees learn effective ways to empower and respect clients. Meals on Wheels People is a shining example of how age-friendly practices are good for business and good for all of us. We're very pleased to honor this year's age-friendly business, Meals on Wheels People. Is Suzanne here to? Okay.
Round of applause for Meals on Wheels. My late father, at 90 years of old, down in Reedsport, was still delivering Meals on Wheels when he was in his 90s, a great organization. So a little housekeeping before we get out of here tonight, this afternoon. Remember, those watching at home, Ageless to 44321, Ageless to 44321. A recording of this event will be available here on the Age Plus website for those who were not able to be with us today. And we ask that you all share the link with your friends and family and that donations continue. Also, notice it's a very PSU Viking-friendly audience, and want to share a little something about a Viking alum. I'm a Willamette University alumni, and this next month, in my role as a Willamette trustee, I'm going to be able to introduce the commencement speaker at Willamette University, and will receive a doctorate in public service. Now we have to call her Dr. Margaret Carter. We'll be giving the commencement speech at Willamette this year, so congratulations to Margaret. And happy birthday again to the wonderful Catherine Harrison over there at 99 years young. And again, what an honor it is, Amy, to have the First Lady with us here today for this wonderful thing. Well, such an afternoon of inspiration. We'll end with one more story, a historical story, naturally, which I think is the best definition of leadership that I've ever seen. And they're the words of Dwight Eisenhower. And they're the words that Eisenhower wrote the evening before the D-Day invasion. The night before the invasion, Eisenhower retired to his tent, and he wrote two notes. One to be released to the world and the press if D-Day was a success and a beachhead was established. One to be released if it was not. Obviously, the one that was released was a success. Never once in that letter did Eisenhower use the word I. Things were different had it been a failure. The note he would have released was this: our landings have failed to gain a beachhead, and I have withdrawn the troops. The decision to attack at this time and place was made with the best information possible. The Army, the Navy, the air, the troops did all that bravery and dedication to duty could do. If any blame or fault attaches to the failure of this attempt, the responsibility is mine and mine alone. Think of how many of our problems we face today here in Portland and Oregon could be solved by adopting those words that the responsibility is mine and mine alone. So let's get out there, continue to make a difference. Thank you for your support of Age Plus. See you next year.